Sleuth's head execution, Richard Precious, has fair refundable of a extremely lively 1 week of meetings in Southward Africa. Richard met in the Southward African by the government, the UK top committee crew, a entire listing of companies, someone all wish to assist, and a band of domestic print. No surprise party how all is receive agitated on Sleuth departure to Southward Africa the fall. Time we're lively planner the occasion plan for our testing rest, lot of you hold request for more than detailed information, I pledge we'll upgrade all quickly, down there's lot of study yet departure on to know how the car will act. One of the key things we are looking at is sound. How lot sound will the car produce? How will the sound influence the pattern of the vehicle, the motorist, me, and the observer crowds? The sound will go of two major source. The jet motor and the missile engine will build a lot, or I indicate a many, of sound at the behind end of the vehicle, in a bit of jet consumption jet sound above the cubric as so. At ultrasonic speeds, I don't include to worry about on the jet consumption sound over, as I'll be traveling more rapid rather than the audio the jet motor is manufacturing. Yet, at how spot, the ultrasonic shockwaves begin to produce several, quite big, acoustical power effects. In some speech, they will perhaps build though more than sound rather than the jet consumption, so he's departure to be loud everything rate we are making. You may be amazed to listen how I'm not how concerned on the sound levels in the cubric. For our sluggish rate, 200 mph, tests at Cornwall Aeroport Newquay recent year, we found how the cubric was not as loud as we had at first mind. If we discover he's received too loud while we go more rapid, love ultrasonic quick, later we can fit a lot more than audio proofing. We've already got a big box of thing named Basotech, same identical audio absorbing foaming how Ariane missile strike utilize, prepared to fit in the cubric if require. We're not too concerned on the effects on the mob each, as down there are several lightweight solutions. At first, we'll be tracking the sound levels at the end of the path, while the car rest. If it gets too loud, later we'll just go the mob link behind future, don't worry about if thou upcoming to see us, it won't be too far and thou'll yet get a fantastic type. In reality, the major issue may go while we get circle to synchronization our definitive rest, to set a new planet Earth rate recording. At the spot we requirement FIA timekeepers, who historically use a few 100 meters of cord to recording their synchronization lighting signals. We've already alerted them how they are perhaps departure to requirement cordless synchronization machinery, as they are potential to be a kilometer of more than behind of the path. The actual item we're worried on is the sound effects on the vehicle. Behind in 1997, while we set the present planet Earth rate recording, we saw rather a lot of acoustical harm to the vehicle. The turned on crack of the Titan panels at the back of the vehicle, due to the devastating sound of the jet motor fumes. The ultrasonic shockwaves as well did their equitable stake of harm. We had to substitute one of the flesh panels by the vehicle, that was cracked by shockwave vibrations. Things love missile motors can make so lot power how they hazard destructive the car, normally a space vehicle, how they are assigned to. For sample, the area canoe had to use large water supply sprays to dampness downward the acoustical power at start. And I do indicate large, they pulverized above 1 millionth liters of water supply onto the start pad in fair above part a min, to hinder acoustical harm to the load and team. How's a lot of water supply and a lot of sound? Sleuth is not departure to be with whatever the amount of the canoe major engines, that is fair as so, as down there's anywhere on the car to hold a millionth liters of water supply. We can't fair disregard the issue, although among them, the Rolls-Royce jet motor and the Nemo combination missile will do Sleuth SSC the loudest, as so as the fastest, car in story. We requirement to do certainly how all the sound is not departure to harm the behind end of the vehicle. The is wherever our new top boyfriend nickname Eden of Area Acoustic comes in. Nickname is evolving and progressive numeric decision to sound of stormy mix for Sleuth. In brief, how tool sames modeling the sound. His at first pattern is for a rate of stroke 0.8, in some speech 80% of the rate of audio, or about 600 mph. House cozily over our Sleuth 500 goal for the year of 500 plus mph, to offer us several lowest case sound figures to see at for the year's test. The year's testing rest will be in our EJ200 jet motor just, as the missile growth will not be finished before following year. For the testing program, how makes things simpler, as we can attention on two cases, jet motor at complete force, measurement the full sound exposition of the vehicle, and jet motor off, measurement the sound of the airflow just, as the car slows downward. How will offer us exact figures for the airflow sound or, by measurement the distinction in force on, for the jet motor sound. Nickname can later use these figures to enhance the precision of his pattern, if require. Up we fit the missile and begin making ultrasonic rest. Up I say on the anticipated sound levels, I include to concern on the hard object of sound dimension. Nickname's figures are looking at thing named the audio blood pressure standard, sound pressure level, that is a action of the blood pressure inflicted by the audio wave propagation. The is ideally for Sleuth's requirements, as we wish to know how the audio might influence the pattern of the vehicle, so he's the blood pressure how we're concerned in. Lightly confusingly, the audio blood pressure is various to the force or power of the audio wavelength, for reasons I won't try to explanation, fair get my speech for it. The SPL is measurable family member to a link blood pressure, that is the quietest audio how you can listen. To do things a bit more than complex, he's measurable on a logarithm scope, in units named decibels, or dB. The quietest audio yours ear can discover is link blood pressure at 0 decibel, SPL. On the scope, 20 decibel, SPL, is 10 times the audio rate of 0 dB, and 40 decibel, SPL, is 100 times the rate. Embarrassed? Affirmative, me too much. Allows adhere to several easy examples. If 0 decibel, SPL, is the quietest audio you can listen, later the ake limit of audio, wherever the sound starts to reason you trauma, is about 120 to 130 decibel, SPL. The change is, since the ake limit is lightly personal, a very noisy, 130 decibel, SPL, fate gig may so be large piece of music to a 20-year-old and morbid sound to who above 40. In 130 decibel, SPL, as a morbidly noisy link, at low for me, I'm above 40, the audio levels about Sleuth may do a bit more than feeling. The forecasted sound standard, sound pressure level, at the Kubrick is 135 dB, so it may not be convenient, but he's anything to be frightened of. I'll be tiring a complete face hat and final ear molded earplugs, love you see the F1 drivers with, so I'm so secured versus the standard of sound. Of more than concern is the forecast for sound at the behind on the vehicle, wherever the SPL drawing is 150 dB. The is very rather noisy. Unhelpfully, largest of the examples of the type of sound standard are things love war jet engines or hard ordnance gun fire. Except you job in war jets or hard ordnance, that doesn't indicate lot. More than breathtaking is the kind of effects how it has on the humane flesh, that are differently cited as trunk hollow vibrates, dizziness and strangling. The sound standard will harm more than rather than fair yours listening. Okay, we'll do certainly how we all hold so behind. Issue is, which sit departure to do to the car himself. Now how we include the information, our mechanical engineering crew can begin to see at precisely the issue. Superior yet, we can action the effects on the car while we begin test it after the year. Don't overlook to give yours earplugs.